Hello, Algebra 1A students. I'm looking at, for Ms. Buchanan, the equations and inequalities variables on both sides. And let's get started. So I'm going to look at the evens today, and I'm going to show you in red what I'm thinking or the operation that I'm doing. And in black is just the next line, the next line, the next line. Also, I know that she has in class you doing the wall. I don't always do the wall, but the wall is a really nice way to keep things organized, to make sure you're doing to one side as the other. I used to do the same thing, and then I just got used to lining up. You'll notice I do a pretty good job of lining up my my equal signs, so I kind of make my own wall as it is anyways. I kind of keep things nice and neat. So the wall for you beginners is helping you keep things organized. So you'll notice that I'm thinking ahead. I want to keep things positive as much as possible. I like to keep my variables positive because I could get rid of the y on both sides. I could subtract y from both sides, but then over here I'd have a negative 4y. But I didn't do that, so I wanted to keep it positive. So what I ended up doing is I added 3y. You'd get the same answer no matter which direction you go. You just, have to keep track of I do one thing to one side, I do it to the other, and you'll end up getting the same answer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add 3y to both sides. And I end up with 4y minus 3 equals negative 43. I end up adding the 3 to both sides. And I end up with 4y equals negative 40. I divide by 4 because this is 4 times y. And that's why I did it, this is why I'm doing everything, to get y by itself. That's what my job is. And then negative 40 divided by 4 is my negative 10. So you should get y equals negative 10. Number 4, and you can slow this video down as you need to. I end up adding 10b to both sides just to keep that b positive, And then I subtract 5 from both sides. I end up getting 0. 17b equals 0, so I divide both sides by 17. I get 0 equals b. For number 6, I'm going to add 5v to both sides. I end up getting 3v here, and I'm working on getting that v by itself on one side. So I subtract 10 from both sides. I end up getting 3v equals negative 60. I divide both sides by 3, and I get v equals negative 20. Number 8, I end up adding the 4x to both sides. Once again, I could have added 3x to both sides, but if I added 3x, I'd have a negative x over here, and that's fine. You could deal with the negative x. I don't like dealing with negative x's, so you get the same answer either way. So if you did it differently and you got the same answer, that's fine. It does work that way. So I end up with 4 plus x equals 8. I subtract 4 from both sides and it gives me x equals 4. This would be a good one to show you what I'm talking about. If I were to do it the other way, because I'm seeing that this is going to be a short video, I might as well show you what I'm talking about. So say I wanted to get rid of the negative 3, or so I add 3 to both sides. So adding 3 to both sides. Okay? And so I end up with 4 equals 8 minus x over here. Well, now that my x is over here, I got to get rid of this 8. So I subtract 8 from both sides. And so I get negative 4 equals negative x. Well, I don't want to know what negative x is. So if I'm going to get rid of the sign on this side of the wall, I'm going to have to get rid of the sign on this side of the wall. Or, you could think of it as multiplying this side by negative 1, multiply that side by negative 1. So then I get 4 equals x. Notice it's the same. It's just, x equals 4, 4 equals x. You get the same thing no matter which direction you go. I liked this way because I don't have to mess with the negative. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. For number 10, we start to use the distributive property. So right off the bat, I did 3 times 5 is 15, and then 3 times 2 is 6. I do 2 times 3 is 6, and 2 times negative 6 is negative 12. I'm going to get rid of the 6x, so I'm going to subtract 6 from both sides. I end up with 9x plus 6 equals negative 12. I get rid of the 6 because I'm trying to isolate this x, so I subtract 6 from both sides. I end up with 9x equals negative 18. I divide both sides by 9. I get x equals negative 2. And then number 12, I use the distributive property, so I have 7p, and 7 times 3 is 21, and then I bring this plus 9 down, didn't do anything with it. And then 5 goes to times the p, and then 5 times the negative 2, so I get negative 10, and then I have my minus 3p over here. Then I got to combine like terms. So these two don't have a p with it, so I could put them together. 21 plus 9 is 30. These two p's I could put together. 5 minus 3 is 2, so I'm left with 2p. I didn't do anything with my minus 10, I bring it down. Didn't do anything with my 7p, I bring it down. Now I can start doing my business here, my algebraic business. I'm going to subtract 2p from both sides. Yeah, I could subtract the 7p, but you're going to be dealing with a negative p, like I showed you in the previous couple problems ago. So I want to keep it positive, so I'm thinking ahead, okay, because that will give me a positive. 7 minus 2 stays positive. So that's 5p. I subtract 30 from both sides. I end up with a negative over here. That doesn't bother me at all because I just take, and divide both sides by 5. Negative 40 divided by 5 gives me negative 8. So p equals negative 8. All right, try the other ones on your own, and hopefully this helps.